Hello, everybody. Welcome to a
We're back.
We're back. YouTube.
Time warp.
Fresh off our Wizard World coverage and whatnot, we are going to start a monthly segment where we basically, best of the year in video games at that point. So right now, we're going to give you our list of our top 6 for Chris, 7 for me, games of 2014. We're eventually going to cap off at 10, and then every month we're going to have to make the hard choices and cut a game to add a game. And by the end of the year, we'll have our 2014 best of list, and you will have seen how it evolved throughout the year.
Yeah, best part is we don't have to do an end of the year show.
I mean, we're still going to.
Well, we don't have to.
We don't have to, but we're going to
Okay.
because we like it and stuff.
Stop poking me.
Poke. All right. You want to just do the thing where we swap fun on?
Sure.
Because, I don't know.
There's a lot of overlap.
There is. Well, you know what? How about that? How about we do have a bunch of overlap, and then so we'll mention one, and if it's on yours, we'll just talk about it.
Okay.
These are in no particular order. We'll wait till the end of the year for that to put them in like a definitive list. But as of now, let's just go to. I have 7. Chris has 6. And these are our top games so far, 2014 April edition, because
we needed to wait for games to come out.
Exactly. And there are several that aren't on my list because I just haven't had enough time to play them for, like Dark Souls 2, not on the list because I haven't put enough time into it that I feel like I could legitimately add it to any list. You know what I mean? And other games, but that's the predominant one I feel. So let's start. Right off the bat, Bravely Default. Is that on yours?
Yeah. It's a pretty high up there because this is the most I've dumped into an RPG in a long time. I've been playing it on my lunch every day. I've been at work since it's come out on release, so I've been playing it for like a month and a half. And, it's slow going, but it's going.
For you?
Yeah.
I'm just impressed it's kept your attention for so long. For me, I cracked out on it hard.
Yeah.
And I like 90-something hours later, I beat the game, the true ending, all SciQuest done, all jobs maxed, level 99 everything. It was the whole shebang-a-bang. And what I love so much about it is it's a love letter to the SNES, like early PS1 era of Japanese RPGs with so many updated features that really streamline the experience, being able to skip all random battles or crank it up to double the percentage so you can grind faster, the difficulty slider, just all the things that kind of remove the frustration, and so all you get is fun.
Yeah, and I think that's his biggest selling point is that, it has a lot of jobs to offer in it. But grinding to get the levels for those jobs is not a chore because you can crank up the difficulty to 100%. And if you find a good grinding area, you can get everything maxed out pretty quickly.
It cuts time, especially when you factor in the auto battle and the super speed. Speed it up 4 times. So all the stuff that normally takes so long and just drags it out is eliminated. And so all you have is pure gameplay, and it's nice.
Yeah.
And plus, once you unlock all the jobs, there are so many opportunities for breaking the system, just gaming the game, and it's really satisfying when you do that.
Yeah.
So you just hit the 4th crystal. And
I'm about to enter I just started chapter 5, so
Remember when you were like, "There's 8 chapters"?
There are 8 chapters. I was not expecting that. But
yeah, if you have a 3DS and you have any passing fancy in the RPG genre, Bravely Default.
If you need something to kill a month, get it.
Indeed. What game do you have next?
I think I have Infamous.
Infamous is on mine as well.
Yeah.
The poster child for the PlayStation 4 right now.
I was kind of hard pressed to tell like the difference because without like a side-by-side graphical comparison, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, that's next gen until you get the neon powers.
Yeah. Once you hit nighttime and you get the neon powers, the lighting and everything is just
very apparent. But it's a very good Infamous game. It's the game the PS4 needed, especially at this point in its life cycle. I found it very solid and dependable.
I loved it. I got my platinum. Again, another game that I cracked out on. I was a huge fan of the first Infamous, and then the second Infamous blew that one away. So I was really looking forward to this one, and I was not disappointed. I really enjoyed the multiple powers. Infamous 2 gave us 2 powers each. Well, depending on your evil or good path, you got ice or fire. Smoke, neon, and I still feel it's too early to just flat out spoil the other 2.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about neon because it was released in the trailers.
I'm not certain if I like it more than Infamous 2 or not. I have to chew on that when I do my evil playthrough. I think Infamous 2. I think I like Infamous 2 better than it.
I think if I put them all against each other, I think 2 gets the edge. But one thing I really loved about this new Infamous was I loved the character of Delsin, and just his character of kind of being like his smart assery and his little witty comments and stuff were just, and the fact that when was the last time we had a superhero game or movie where the character really just reveled in his powers and just got enjoyment out of it? There was no angst here.
Never.
He got his powers and it was just a joy, because that's how I feel most people would be if they suddenly got these crazy powers. They would enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I love the character of Delsin, and I thought his playoff with his brother was really nice.
His character's the best, because Cole was
grimdark,
and not if he wasn't grimdark, he was very serious.
Yeah.
And Delsin is a breath of fresh air. Delsin's a great character. I just think I need to play it through.
I agree, and no, but as it stands, Infamous Second Son is a if you own a PS4,
solid.
Get it. That's just
Solid.
if you like action games, superheroics at all.
Yeah,
it's fun. The mobility in this game is so streamlined and satisfying. The combat's good. There's a different power set for each kind of play style. It's good times. Next up, I have South Park. Stick of Truth.
I watched you play the end of it, but I didn't.
You
play
did. As a big fan of the show, if you like the show, you're going to like the game. If you like RPGs, you'll enjoy the mechanics of the game. If you like both, this is tailor-made for you. And I do not have any problems unequivocally saying that this is probably the greatest licensed game I've ever played.
I feel like a lot of it depends on your affection to the show.
Oh, I agree. Like, if you don't like South Park, the humor and plot and just everything about it is not going to do anything.
It's a love letter to the fans, and
it is.
You know, I watched South Park religiously until the movie came out, and I've seen maybe 6 episodes since the movie came out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't do a lot for me anymore. But you know, watching it, I get what they're going for, and I can see like what it's shooting for. It's just something that's going to be way lower on my priority list.
South Park, the humor is nailed down. There are so many references. Like he said, it's a love letter to fans. The gameplay is a mix of kind of like, I want to say Paper Mario RPG, where it's all about timed button presses for extra damage and extra defense. The characters that you get are all fleshed out, and just the collectible. There's so much to collect, and everything is a reference to something. Everything is humorous.
It looks like an episode of the show.
And graphically, it looks spot on to the show. They did graphically, they nailed it. I mean, tonally, they nailed it. Thematically, they nailed it. If you like the show, this is the game for you. And again, the greatest licensed game of all time. And admittedly, that's not really putting it up in a prestigious selection of stuff, but you know, the good ones have always been really good. Chronicles of Riddick, you know, Spider-Man 2.
It's never the ones you expect.
Right.
It's always the wild cards.
But South Park, bam, good times. What's another one you got on yours?
I got Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes. Now you played much more of this than me because I wanted to recap all the previous ones, and it also came out the same week as Infamous. So,
well, I mean, it's gotten a lot of guff for being a short game, and it's basically a demo for Phantom Pain.
And luckily, you know. But I think they alleviated a little bit of that by only charging half price.
Yeah.
Like having to be a budget title really helps.
It helps, and there's more content than you would think.
And that's the thing. If people that just burn through the main storyline and then stop, sure. But you can't. There's so many side missions and side quests and collectibles.
I mean, the XOF collectibles are a pain in the ass. There's 5 other missions that you can undertake, and they range from flat out assaults to assassination missions to another rescue mission. The main mission itself is a rescue mission against some pretty rough odds. It's my first experience with Metal Gear. I mean, aside from watching Kefka Productions' wonderful movie compilations, but I really enjoyed it. I cracked out really hard on it. I didn't realize all the other missions would unlock, so I spent like 4 hours on the main mission, and then I was like, oh, I got to do all this other stuff separately. And then I realized, once I realized how the base was set out, it made the other missions much easier.
Right.
So,
and the ending is brutal.
It's brutal.
I'm not going to spoil a damn thing.
It's rough. But if you're going to get this, you should brush up on your Peace Walker lore.
Peace Walker is a great primer. If you don't want to play the game, there's a 3-hour movie by Kefka Productions on YouTube that splices together all the relevant and pertinent cutscenes and gameplay, so you get the entire experience without having to play the game.
I would have been super lost without it.
It really helps.
Yeah. But it's a very good purchase. Like $30 is very reasonable for it, for what they're giving you. And I really even though I just put it to bed recently, I really want to go back and try again.
And that's what Kojima said, was this was a game that, while it has a short lifespan per playthrough, it's a game that people constantly would want to replay.
Yeah.
And it's got the replay value. So, your mileage may vary.
Sure.
As a big Metal Gear fan, I was a fan. And apparently new people also can derive enjoyment from it. So there we go.
I'm way more excited for Phantom Pain than I've ever have been. So
hey, then it did its job.
Yeah, and I'm only 22% completed. So
nice.
I mean, but there's so much that I have to complete.
All right. Next up, I have Strider.
I have Strider for a little bit because I haven't finished it. I maybe.
But are you enjoying what you played?
I may be about 20% in.
Okay.
I think it's a very, very good platformer. I like
Metroidvania-ish.
Yeah.
Or for those that don't enjoy that comparison, a Metroid-ish.
Yeah.
But it's Strider, and I don't know if you ever played the original. I know you didn't.
I didn't, because when it was announced at Comic-Con, I was very confused what all the hype was for.
I was really excited. You were like, I don't know what this is. It's a downloadable game by Capcom on pretty much all consoles. We both got it on the PlayStation 4. Graphically, it looks really good for a downloadable game. Gameplay-wise, it follows the Metroidvania formula where certain areas are blocked off until you get a new upgrade or attachment or weapon, and then things unlock. The boss battles are really nice. I do like how every time you beat a boss, it then becomes a regular enemy that you will fight. But except for the giant boss, that level on the flying dragon.
I love the flying dragon.
That was so awesome.
It's gorgeous.
It's so
super
pretty.
Gorgeous. And I find it's challenging without being unfair.
Right, and I think that's the key with a game like this.
That's the good balance, because I'm not a masochist.
You do not deal with the overly complicated
if a game
games.
is unfair, I don't want to, like Dark Souls. I find unfair, so
it's not unfair.
Well,
that's
how I
fair.
view it.
If that's how you view
that's how I view it. But I find the challenge is manageable, and I find it very rewarding. So
Strider, good times.
I look forward to finishing it this year.
We've got Titanfall.
We played a little bit of Titanfall. I played a little less of that than I have a Strider. If you have an Xbox One, there's no excuse not to get it.
It is pretty much the game that the Xbox One desperately needed, in the sense that it is the game that justifies the price. Less so now that it's on the 360.
Wow.
But that's a story for another day. The fact remains that Titanfall, whether you played on PC, whether you played on One, or whether you played on 360, it's really good.
It's a really, really good shooter. It's balanced.
It's balanced as shit, and it blows my mind that every map, anywhere you are, there are multiple points that people can attack. There are no choke points. There are no safe spots where you can turtle in and just take out people. And the verticality and the mobility of it really means like sniper classes are on a whole another level because you can go anywhere now, but you're never safe.
Yeah.
And the Titans are not overpowered. Like when they're on the field, they're powerful. But you have a chance against them, whether through rodeo kills or your already equipped like anti-Titan weapon. Like everything is so balanced. It's really a breath of fresh air.
They're tough, but they're not unmanageable.
Right. And when you take one down, you feel so damn good. Like how many times did you love rodeo?
I love rodeo.
Oh my god.
It's really well done. We've played it on the Xbox One. It's pretty amazing. If you have an Xbox One or a powerful PC, you should get it.
I have it on PC as well, and while the PC one definitely has the edge, the Xbox One is no slouch, and it is definitely what a system needed.
Yeah.
So
if I were to pick up an Xbox One, this would probably be the first game I would pick up with it.
I mean, honestly, until we get hard release dates for Sunset Overdrive and Quantum Break, I'm hard pressed to think of another Xbox only game worth getting, especially compared to Titanfall. Titanfall is the game of the year for Xbox One, and I'll be very shocked if it doesn't win that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's fun, it's fast paced, and you always get a sense of progression. It has that Call of Duty Modern Warfare style where you're always leveling up to that next thing, which will unlock something else. I love the concept of burn cards. It just every match is different, and playing with friends is a blast.
Yeah, it's great. You should get it.
I don't even like Call of Duty multiplayer. And while I was very upset that Titanfall did not have a single-player campaign, because that's usually my jam, Titanfall with friends as a multiplayer experience is top-notch.
Absolutely.
And I don't think we'll get a better game for multiplayer until Destiny comes out.
That's probably
That's
true.
my take. Any other games you have?
Banished. I only have Banished. It's a PC strategy game available on Steam, and what separates it from other PC sim games, strategy games like Civilization, is that there's a finiteness to it, where yes, you can grow crops, but they're going to have to be stored, and if you don't have enough crops to store, when winter comes, you're fucked.
And then winter is coming.
Winter is coming, and your people are going to die.
So hard.
And then when they die, you can't do anything because you don't have people to do the work. So they're all just going to drop dead. If you have one bad winter, it could cripple your entire city. And that's a fascinating concept to throw into a game because no matter how well prepared you are, or how many potato plots you plant, it's not enough. It's never enough. And because you're always going to need another storehouse, and that needs wood, and you need build people to cut the wood and gather the wood and build the shed. And God forbid you run out of stone, and then you can't have anyone cut more wood for you.
Right.
So there's a lot of layers to it, and it's fascinating. And I've only played a couple, like 5 hours of it, and it's very addictive, but it's so brutally hard, and like not in a way like Dead Souls is hard, Dark Souls is hard. It's hard in a way that it's just inevitability, crushing inevitability. And I really enjoy it for that.
Okay.
So
yeah, I've watched you play it a little, and it is
crushing.
It's on my Steam wish list. I'm definitely just waiting until the next Steam sale, though.
I cannot wait for the next Steam sale. I've got like 10 games on my list.
My final game is a game that released on the PS3 and the Vita. It's called Luftrausers. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name, but it's a very minimalistic, very arcadey kind of like each game lasts a minute, maybe two, depending on your skill, and then there's no load time between deaths, and you're just right back in it. You are a fighter pilot taking down enemy jets, enemy planes, enemy battleships, and you can completely customize your ship with their weapon, the body of the ship, and the thruster. And there's hundreds of combinations that you can make. And it's a fast-paced game. The controls are unique, but it's the definition of one of those easy to pick up, hard to master type of games where you can have fun and do well, but to really like succeed and do the later challenges, you have to actually develop some skill to it. Soundtrack's fantastic as well, and it's perfect for the Vita. It's like just portable greatness because it's designed for that kind of pick up and play, couple minutes here and there type of thing. that a console doesn't really lend itself to as much.
Right.
So, to recap, the games we have currently on our list for shared Bravely Default, Infamous, Titanfall, Strider, Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, and then for me specifically, South Park and Luftrausers, and for Chris, Banished. So, yeah, why don't we call it quits right now and say our goodbyes. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is the NOLAnerds Best of 2014 video games.
So far.
See you in May and see what gets added.
If anything.
I have a strong feeling Child of Light will get added to my list. And maybe Watch Dogs, depending on when we do this in May.
Yeah.
If Watch Dogs is out. Watch Dogs will probably be a June one because it comes out like right at the tail end of May.
If Watch Dogs comes out at the end of May, then probably nothing's going to get added to May.
So. If I had to guess, though, Child of Light, unless it ends up being complete shit, will probably be on my list. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, there we go. Peace out, guys.
Pop, pop.